Hey YouTube, D Squared back here from Duncans&Sons, and we're going to talk about our 110 gallon pond that we set up. I was going to do it in stages and show you how I was setting things up, but I got my inspiration from Rachel O'Leary, from her channel about summer tubbing, and I essentially took all of her tips and incorporated it into my own tub. So there's really no reason for me to go through multiple videos and showing you, hey, this is how you do this, or this is how you do this, because she's done all of that for us, and she's pretty much set us up for success here. But I'm going to talk about some things, where I got things at, what I'm doing, and I'm just going to share it with you, because I think it's cool. Like I've told people, never in a lifetime did I ever think that I would set up a water pond with fish in it. But I did, and it's cool and it's relaxing. I enjoy it. One of the things that I most enjoy in the evenings, I come out here with like a glass of wine or a cup of tea, and there's just enough water flow coming from my little waterfall that it's relaxing and peaceful. It's not like a large waterfall and a huge pond, you know, to the point where you can't sit here and have a conversation with somebody else. So I enjoy that very much. And with where we have it located, I can hear it right outside my bedroom window on the second floor, so that's kind of nice too. Kind of helps me go to sleep some nights if it's not too noisy in the neighborhood. But anyway, I'm going to talk about what I got going on here. So it's a 110 gallon tub from Tractor Supply. Those are kind of few and far between here in Southern California, but here in San Diego County there's one in Valley Center, and that's about 14 miles away from me, so that's where I went to go get it. 110 gallon tub. It retails for $64.99 out there, so if you're looking at like a Rubbermaid tub or something like that, those retail for $100 for the same size. So you can save yourself a little bit of coin by going this way. It does have a drain in the front of it, so if you ever have to drain it for any reason because of your location or whatever, you can do that. But we are here in Southern California, San Diego County, so I'm going to try to overwinter the tub just as it is. Inside the tub, I've got a 300 gallon per hour pump, and that's of course for my waterfall, and that came from Home Depot. I probably paid a little bit more than what I could have paid on Amazon, but I wanted the pump that day, so I spent, I want to say, $30 at Home Depot on that pump. Had some hose laying around, 3/4 inch hose laying around, so that's what's going from the pump to my ball valve. I use the ball valve to control the flow of the pump. I mean, my pump, you can control it on the pump, but I let the pump run at full capacity inside the tank, and I control the flow right here with my ball valve. It wraps around here, and I went from 3/4 inch to 1/2 inch PVC because I had a ton of 1/2 inch PVC laying around, and that comes up through my flowers here. These are impatiens, and of course out here. You can't really see it, but you know, on my pipe, this has been running for about a week now. You start to see some algae and stuff build up, so to me that's a good thing. Maybe not to other folks. So that's what I've got going on there. I've got I have paver bricks stacked up in here, and that's what my pot is sitting on with some of my rocks. I have river rocks in there, and I have lava rocks, and tucked in here underneath all that, you can't see it, but I do have a small bag of biomedia in there. I think it's the Eheim Substrate Pro or Substrat Pro. You know, it houses a lot of beneficial bacteria, you know, and so I figured in order to keep a little bit of that going on inside of the tank, in addition to the plants, I just tuck some under there, and of course I put the lava rock on there because that works great as a type of biomedia. Inside the tank, I have a local nursery here that carries some aquatic plants, and of course they have lilies, and most of the lilies have quite a few lily pads coming off of them. And this one has a flower in it, or on it already, and it was blooming, but we're not getting a lot of sun here in Southern California right now. It's June gloom, what we call it. And so it's not out of the water blooming right now, but there is another one that's coming up off of it. So I mean, that makes it really pretty when it is in bloom. I've got some standard old water lettuce here, and then some hyacinth over there. Just a couple of those in there, and of course those came with a free sample of duckweed. So there's duckweed in here also. These, like I said, these are impatiens, and they are a New Guinea impatient is what they're called. And I was reading in, I don't know where I was reading this at, I think it was a gardening magazine or something, I can't remember, but impatiens often grow along streams, you know, creeks, creek, whatever you want to call it, and they grow very well in very moist soil. So what I did in here, I got a pot that kind of fits on my my bricks here, and I put a bed of the river rocks in there, and then lava rock on top of that, like real small fine lava rock, and I filled that all in so it was kind of nice and solid there. And then I put in just regular dirt. I took all the fertilizer dirt and all that stuff off the flowers, and I just put regular dirt in there. So there's a couple layers there, and this sits just barely up to my first knuckle. So, you know, my fingers aren't real big, so it fits up to my first knuckle in the water. So the dirt is not even in the water line, but I'm hoping that these will do well. They'll bloom well, that dirt will get just enough moisture in it that they won't have to be watered. Plus they kind of cover up my piece of PVC pipe there pretty well. And so that's kind of what I'm doing there. Right now I have 10 white cloud minnows in the tank. I'm hoping they'll spawn. I like trying to spawn fish. The only fish that I've been able to spawn successfully has been Corridoras. Well, we have mollies too, but that's not really hard to live bearing fish. So we have been able to spawn Corridoras, and we're going to put some Corridoras in here too. I'm going to try to get some panda Corridoras. Right now all we have are salt and peppers. And so we'll see if we can't get them to do some spawning in here. On sunny days, the tank gets up to about 80 degrees. And then at night it drops to about 65. So we'll see how that goes throughout the summer. I do have a cover for it just in case I find critters getting in it. But I'm hoping the water temperatures for the minnows will be okay. I know it'll be okay for the corries. And then we're going to put some fancy guppies in there too. We're going to get some live bear action going on there. But I think it's really cool because, hey, be quiet over there, you. The dog gets very jealous when I spend time with my fish. Everything I've heard, everything I've learned about the ponds is the fish usually get such great colors, so that's really why we're doing the guppies, to see what kind of colors we can get to come out of them. Not trying to create any unique strands or anything like that. This is just for fun for us, you know. If it starts to get too cold, we notice the fish getting too sluggish, we'll move them inside during the winter months here, because believe it or not, it does get cold in Southern California. And so we'll keep an eye on the health of the fish. A couple of other things I missed in here, and I'll pick the camera up here and I'll show you here in a second. I've got some jungle val in there and some hornwort in there as well to try and you know, just have some oxygen-rich plants that are you know, submerged plants, just to try and make sure that I've got enough oxygen in here for the fish. I think it's just going to be awesome. It's my first tank. I'm super excited about it. And like I said, I come out here every night and just sit and relax. And if I have time in the morning, I grab a cup of coffee and I sit here in the morning and I relax. It's just so peaceful. So the one thing I did want to show you, and it's because I keep getting people that ask, from Aquarium Co-op, the nano twig package, and I'll try to get a picture here without the glare. And I don't know how well you can see that. Of course, I'm standing in the way. There we go. We're kind of getting rid of the glare. But those are all nano twigs from Aquarium Co-op. Zip ties and nano twigs. I didn't glue anything together because it was going in the pond, so we just used plastic zip ties, and I put a few big ones together, and then just stuffed a bunch of little ones in the spots where I could, so that kind of creates a place where the fish can hang out. You might be able to see some of my white clouds swimming around in there. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but this is my pond. You know, we've got lava rock in there. Such a glare. You know, my pump is in there right there. It's in a Ziploc container. You can kind of see it there. And of course, it's got a coarse filter, not coarse, it's got a medium filter around it to keep it from you know, sucking in any fry that I might get. And you know, we're gonna try to give this a go. You know, I think I'm pretty excited about it. It's like I said, it's our first pond, and if I could, as you can see, I have rocks that go around the base of my house. I would fill all of those with ponds, but I have to have some restraint. At least that's what my wife said. So she enjoys it too. The kids really enjoy the fish being in there, so it's very cool for them, you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about how I did the water system, I have a couple of joints that are glued together, but it's nothing fancy. It's all PVC pipe. And yeah, it's just really simple to me, and a lot of fun. It's a fun way to have fish. If you have somebody in your household that's like, no fish tanks in the household, but you can do whatever you want outside, this is the way to do it. I mean, if you can get the water at the right temperature, and there are heaters for the ponds too, so if you get fish in there that need warmer water, you can always put heaters in there. But the entire point of this was kind of a DIY. I didn't want to buy a pond kit. You know, I kind of hodgepodged it all together myself. You know, and you know, again, really inspired by what Rachel O'Leary's doing over there on her channel with the ponds. I mean, I think it's just awesome. I mean, she's got a lot of cool things going on with the plants and all that stuff too. So, anyway, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. You know, I'm a new YouTuber, so I don't expect a whole lot, but you know, I do try to answer your questions whenever there's any that pop up, like all three of them. So until next time, D squared out.